I made a simple chimney ovalizer out of scrap material I had laying around. I used some PVC, some 2x4s, a couple pieces of pipe. Worked real efficiently for ovalizing the stainless steel liner. First off, if you've never messed with this stuff, be careful. It's exceptionally sharp when cut. Check it with your manufacturer about how much you can restrict this. Mine's a 6-inch pipe. I believe I crushed it down to around 5 inches, 4 3/4 inches. It's what I needed to fit through the chimney. This is the scrap piece left over after I was done. Let me show you how I did this. It's really actually simple. Take a couple pieces of scrap 2x4, go ahead and screw them together. I don't even believe mine are square. I literally just hacked them out with a circular saw and made a rough frame. Go ahead and slide a piece of PVC and a bar through it. Now, my PVC was some thick walled, I have no idea what it was from, just laying around. It's a 1-inch PVC with a nice thick wall. The top bar, even though you can't really see it, it's just a piece of scrap copper, 3/4 inch, and the bottom is a steel rod. I don't know what that is either, some steel pipe. I shoved it through the bottom hole. It's also about 3/4. As long as your pipe that slides through the PVC is fairly rigid, it will be fine. Go ahead and determine what size you need your ovalized pipe to be. Drill the 2 holes for the bottom so that the pipe slides straight through. It doesn't really bind. It'll make it easier. Then take and measure from the top of the bottom one to the bottom of the top one. Figure out roughly where your center hole needs to be. Mark it, drill it so that it's even. You want your PVC to rotate on the bar. It kind of acts like a roller with bearings, even though there aren't any bearings. I guess in theory, if you had a lot to do and you were going to do it over and over, you could actually grease the pipe so that the PVC turned freer. I didn't bother to. Lay the unovalized side in, get it ready, and use the top pipe to kind of squish it down. Leave about 6-8 inches a foot sticking out in front. Be careful that when you do this, gentle, because you can just smash the crap out of it. But if you take your time, you'll put a nice dent in it, then pull it back towards yourself. That will get the ovalize at the start, and after that you will feed it back in and start all over. It would greatly help to stake this thing to the ground. When I first did my 25-foot piece, I had my daughter stand on it, but she only weighs about 70 pounds. That didn't work real well. I drug her around the yard, so we actually call this thing a sled. And I had my wife come out and stand on it, but she doesn't weigh enough, so between the two of them, we were actually okay. And if I had to do it again, or I was doing it more often, I would put some holes in the board that goes across the top and actually drive something into the ground, because it's a giant pain by yourself. Like I'm trying right now, I'm struggling with it because there's just nothing to hold on to. If you actually can just pull on it, the pipe comes very freely. With both of their weight, it was a very smooth operation. My demonstration really makes it look much harder than it is. The day I recorded this video had been the first day in like 3 days I'd actually gotten out of bed. I had a sinus infection, extreme cold. I would save you time. I won't let you sit here and watch me fight with this thing for the next 3 or 4 minutes while I hack and cough and I can't breathe. So I'll cut to the next scene where I got it started, and I swear it's easier when there's someone to hold the thing down. So here I take it out and I flip it over. Basically, if you were doing it for the first time, you wouldn't flip it over. You would just continue with the piece you had. It's a little more complicated. Like I'm saying, with one person, there's nowhere to hold on, but if there were more people or you had it staked to the ground, you would just start it. And literally with them standing on it, I just walked away and pulled it, little to the left, little to the right, worked it right through. Here you can tell I could benefit from a couple more angle braces coming from the 2x4 uprights to the other ones, but it's already pulled 25 feet and now I'm yanking on it. One thing to be aware of when you're feeding this down the chimney, it's been ovalized, it's a little different. When it was round, it could fall left or right. It could do whatever. Once it's been ovalized, it's going to want to fall towards one of the oval directions. When it does, it's going to try and kink. I think my chimney was around 25 feet. When you're doing it, You got this 20-foot piece up over your head. It's not so bad when it's round, but when it arches back over your head as an oval, it bends in the direction of the oval, and it kinks. And when it kinks, you have to stop. You can take it back and you can unbend it. It leaves a crease. And if you take it out and you unbend it, it's okay. Just be aware that's going to happen. It doesn't happen at all when it's round. When it's round, you can beat and bang and stuff, and it doesn't matter. Once it's been ovalized, it is definitely weaker on the two flat sides. I'll throw this in here too. If I had it to do over again, I might have bought the Chimney puller. I probably wouldn't now that I know, but the Chimney puller is definitely a major advantage. To pull that liner through there, I mean, mine had an offset or an angle inside of it, which is why round wouldn't work, and most people don't fully think it out. Round is okay, so if your chimney is a rectangle, which mine was, you have a 6-inch pipe and you're trying to stuff the 6-inch pipe down a 6.5 inch on the narrower of the two sides of the rectangle, it'll fit, but the chimney blocks aren't lined up right, so you end up with it getting stuck on every little piece as you're going. The puller is an immense help. I mean, I did this by myself. It didn't work out the best. It would have been good to have two people, but what I did is I went to Home Depot or Lowe's. Actually, I went to Lowe's, and I bought a 4-inch PVC cap and put an eye hook through it. And I think I show you in a second closer, but I put some plumber's tape. It's metal strip with multiple holes in it. So I ran it up and I folded it over and folded it back down, and I ran some screws through the inside of the PVC, and I screwed the plumber's tape to it, 4 even pieces, and I put a 6-inch or a 6.5-inch pipe clamp or hose clamp on it, worm clamp. I used that to go around the chimney liner, and it worked very well. It'll go on the oval, it'll go on the straight, and you can pull from the bottom, push from the top. I mean, it might have cost me $4 or $5 to build the puller, and it worked fairly well. Now, a 6-inch PVC piece actually was bigger than my 6-inch pipe and wouldn't fit into the chimney. So if you're trying to pull a round 6-inch piece of tube through with a 6-inch, pipe, PVC cap, that's really not going to work. I mean, I bought one of each. I bought the 4 and the 6 just to be sure. I ended up using the 4. It really was a big help. I'm sorry this whole video has been my mouth moving in the video and my words different. Like I said, I was sick, so the whole time when I actually went back and listened to the original videos, all you hear is me constantly sniffing the whole video. Wind in the background. It was atrocious, so I basically just narrated over everything, hacked all the videos together. I'm definitely not a video editor, but I figured maybe this will help someone.